I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Anna Frey to the microphone. Hi, Anna.
Hello.
Hey, please introduce yourself to everybody.
Okay, hello. My name is Anna Frey. I am a sentient red space cabbage VTuber that usually does a lot of just variety streams in general, some hand cam and other. Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome, and we'll keep you far away from the boiling pot. No, none of that here. None of that here. No, we're strictly meat eating for the most part. So, I appreciate you coming on. When did you get started with VTubing?
Oh gosh, well, I got started almost exactly 3 years ago.
Well, you've been at it for a little while then.
I've been at it for a while, yeah. It was something that I just kind of decided randomly one day. It's like, oh, you know what? This seems fun.
And it must have been good enough for you to stick around for a few years.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like even more than I think I kind of could have imagined when I started, to be fair.
So what's been the pull that's kept you going over these years? What's the one thing that really stands out for you VTubing?
The one thing, that's quite a hard question, actually. I just feel the general, it's kind of been my creative outlet, I guess you could say. It's become kind of my main creative, even though it doesn't feel so creative, as someone who does a lot of more like logic-based things day to day. It's nice to have something that's just a bit more freeform. So I think having that and coming back to that, it feels nice and refreshing.
Instead of doing your Stephen Hawking thing, you can be Jerry Lewis for a while. Oh, I dated myself bad with that. still,
I got the Stephen Hawking, at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get to let things out a little bit and get a little more loose. Be more comfortable in yourself with this. And does that having that avatar make it a lot easier for you to do that?
I kind of feel that it does, in a sense, especially since I always have the actual like whole stream set up in OBS on like one scene screen, so I can see myself like moving and everything, and it's kind of, it's almost for me as well a little bit captivating as I'm kind of streaming. I do like having that kind of image of myself.
But if things calm down a little bit and things get real quiet on the stream, that's Anna watching themselves on the camera. Ooh, look what I can do.
Watching everything just like bounce a little bit, like, oh, that's nice. Rika did a very good job there.
So with all of that, I mean, you have a very engaging voice and obviously personality to go with this. Was this something you really wanted to do? Is to get out and entertain people?
I feel like probably for like quite a while. I have when I was like growing up, I got very into kind of the J-pop idol culture, and I think VTube is kind of slightly a parallel to that as well. So yeah, I completely forgot the question.
Well, it's okay. I'm usually that memorable for folks. I'm so memorable I forget my own questions some of the times. The entertainment aspect of it, was that something that you've always wanted to do?
I feel like in a little bit it was very much there. And I've heard this from like a lot of people as well do VTubing, that like we all kind of have like that bit of stage fright, yet somehow with VTubing there's less of that stage fright. I don't know what it is about it, because even when I started, I was still nervous. It was still like getting up on the stage in a sense, but it wasn't as an extreme reaction to the idea. So it's kind of like a medium to be able to entertain and have fun without the full-on getting up on a stage and just seeing people staring at you.
Oh yeah, I hate that. When I was doing the radio stuff, there were times when I'd had a couple of thousand people listening. I knew it. I was doing sports for a college football team um, main station, and I knew there were a lot of people listening, but it didn't bother me. But if you put me in a room with 10 people and a microphone and they could see me, that bothered me.
Yes.
And I've gotten over that a little bit as I've gotten older. Now I just don't care. But like you guys
I'm
are,
still working on it.
yeah. I got to the point where it's, you're here. You're gonna have to deal with it. but but here you get a chance. It's almost um like you're dealing with one person at a time. You and the screen, or you and the person in chat that you're interacting with. There's a lot of people there, but it just doesn't seem that way. Maybe.
I feel there's part of a sense like that because there are people obviously who just like come in and lurk. So until the end, I do have a couple of people who will just say, "Oh, thanks for the stream" at the end of the stream. So they're like, "Yeah, I've been here the whole time." So there's that little bit of it doesn't feel like there are as many eyes on you. But yeah, it's how do I articulate these feelings?
I'm gonna make you relive every single person that comes on.
That's fine. I'm absolutely happy.
the fear grows. I've planted the seed. But it's great to hear when people are comfortable with what they're doing, and from what I hear, it sounds like you're very comfortable right now.
I am extremely comfortable with it. I think I found like my groove almost in a sense over. I don't know how to say. I'd say like the first year was maybe me finding my groove with everything and just finding what worked for me, what I was happy with, and what worked kind of a bit with other people as well. And it's just worked out amazingly. I found my kind of like, I guess, comfort zone within VTubing, the things I'm happy to do while still doing slightly new things here and there to just test the waters to see what do I enjoy, what do I not enjoy, or there are times where you pick things out and you're like, oh, it's really fun, but it's not really a stream thing. It's kind of
I have to say that comfort. Save it for after the stream, for my own stuff, that type of thing. That's a gray area that is tough to hit, I imagine, sometimes. And the thing is, after watching so many people do this, is that one size does not fit all when it comes to that sort of thing. What may work for one particular person and personality isn't going to work for the next one necessarily, or the gray area is wider or slimmer or that type of thing. And the amount of variety that anyone can tune into on Twitch or any other platform at any one time is crazy big. And it's I would imagine sometimes it's kind of daunting. You kind of look at it every once in a while and say, wow, that's a lot of people I'm up against.
Yes, I think that's also where I found a bit to like relax too. That I very much try to ground myself and look at who is already here, and anybody who comes along is very much just, it's like, I hope I can welcome them in, but if they decide that maybe this isn't for them, I'm absolutely fine with that. I've definitely got into more of like hobby side of things, so just being able to relax and people come along, I'm just like, you guys are here after how long? Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's so how does that affect when you first got on and you started getting folks who were repeating and coming back, no matter what you did online? How did that feel? Was it rewarding, uplifting, scary?
All of that. I think it was very rewarding and uplifting, that especially with like no matter what I did. So even if I did a gaming stream, if I switched up the games that I play, if I do a hand cam stream, if I try out ASMR, which has been a recent thing, that these people would come back, which is really rewarding and uplifting. There is also the bit outside of that, again, not outside, but alongside that, of it's slightly scary because you're like, what is it that is drawing them back every time? Am I changing, or am I doing the kind of, I guess you could say, content that is drawing them back, or am I like shifting too far away? There's a little bit of that as well.
what am I doing right?
Yes, it's kind of it's like, why do you keep coming back? Like, I appreciate this so much, but what is it?
That reminds me, in the old days of the net, I used to play chess online.
Wow.
In the chat room days, which meant it was text based chess.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. It was weird how they did it, and there's one time I actually beat a guy who was rated well way ahead of me. I mean, I was okay, but this guy was way ahead, and he um got so upset that he went and found somebody who was rated way ahead of them and asked them to go over the match and find out what he did wrong. I said, can I go route 2 and find out what I did right? I have no idea. I had no plans. I don't know how I won. He says, yeah, might as well. And that's what it kind of reminds me of. I'm doing something right, but I don't know what it is.
I feel that most of the time.
Well, I have to say that your voice is outstanding for this. And is that something that you've been able to use, that instrument, throughout your life?
Throughout my life, this is actually quite an odd thing, and I've mentioned this quite often on stream because people will come in who are new and be like, "Oh wow, you have a really nice voice," and it's like, "Do I?"
Yeah.
Because throughout life, I definitely remember comments of people going, "Oh, your voice is a bit weird, isn't it? Oh, it's a bit low, isn't it?" And that kind of like threw me off. So and just stuff like, "Oh, you're slurring your words, you're stammering." So I actually, going into VTubing, I didn't even think about my voice because it's always been throughout my life presented as a negative thing. So having people come in and compliment my voice was something that it basically first shocked me. I was like, is it? I'm not used to this. What?
But now it's like you're listening through. You don't have a filter on or anything. Are you sure it's me?
No filters.
That's odd to hear for me because I've heard a lot of people's voices over the years, and you have an absolute radio presenter voice, and I mean, I would definitely, if I was over in where you're at and in local radio, and I heard that voice, I say, here, you come over here, and I'm going to give you absolutely no money for the rest of your life to do this. but it really is, and it's funny to hear that you kind of got. Were you to the point where you're being mocked at over your voice?
I don't know if it was full on mocking, but there was always every now and then just comments about my voice. I'm wondering if I have started to try and enunciate my words a little bit more because of that, but I don't have any conscious kind of recollection of that.
Well, I mean, it might be because again, projecting your voice and just talking is two different things. Some people are very natural at it, and some people talk like their voices inside their chest, and they don't want anything to project, and that's really irritating. to try and figure something like that out, especially when you get old and your hearing starts getting bad. But the fact that you had kind of this natural, resounding voice really fits in well with what you're trying to do. I think, anyway.
Now that I know, I do kind of try to implement it a bit more, I guess. Hence why with like trying to try out ASMR, just because I have heard I've only heard a couple of ASMR, and I was in contact with someone who went from gaming to ASMR and like really blew up. But
yeah.
They was definitely like, oh well, I can give it a go. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. What was the reaction to that? And were you surprised by the reaction?
I think, what was the reaction? I've only done have I done a couple? I've done a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reactions that I did have was someone say, oh, I put your ASMR VOD onto one of my sleeping playlists. And I was like, I'm not keeping you awake, am I?
Nope, you put me to
So
sleep.
I
Thank
was
you.
so grateful.
Yeah. Well, yeah, is ASMR something that you enjoy or listening to, or is it something that you that you had to come in kind of cold turkey with?
I did come in a little bit cold turkey to it. I
Uh,
have to be fair. I didn't really listen to much ASMR previously. Like I knew of it,
uh-huh.
but a lot of what you hear about ASMR is more usually aimed towards the lewd side of things.
Yeah, yeah, might
Uh,
be.
but like when I found the kind of, or like say for work ASMR and stuff like that, I I don't know if it's something that I would listen to on a regular basis, but there is definitely something there, and I can tell that. I can
Mm,
definitely tell that there is definitely something with ASMR that
mm.
I can see people just loving.
Well, I can tell you this: anybody who when you were uh, you were younger and said anything like that about their voice, they're dumb as rocks. Because really, there's no sharp edges. It's very smooth, and that's something that's very tough to teach. Um, so it is very natural, and then I think that would be absolutely perfect. I mean, maybe even when you get comfortable, see if you can do some voice acting stuff.
Oh wow. Maybe some narrator. I think someone did say, "Oh, you should narrate stuff." I could give it a go.
Oh yeah, I can hear you as the children's book announcer.
That
But
would be
just
sweet.
please don't do something like Peppa Pig, okay?
That's okay.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
just avoid that stuff. Unless they pay you good money, then do it. Yeah. Because we in the media
Set the
industry
price.
back then, the M stood for mooch, which meant that we get anything free, we're going for it, and we always go for the money.
Mm.
So, as we sure weren't going to get paid for it. Um, so, with this, have you set any goals for yourself that you haven't achieved yet? And are these pie in the sky, long term goals? Are they things that you're going to be able to reach this year?
Hmm. I think I've come into this going more. I'm taking things. It's not quite day by day, but as the same would go day by day. I don't have like super long term goals. I guess the long term goal for me would be keep enjoying it.
Hmm.
So I never really want to push myself too hard to the point of when I stop enjoying it. I always want to have that feeling of, oh, I can't wait till I stream. Oh, I
Hmm.
can't wait till the Thursday or the Sunday because I'm really looking forward to streaming to that day.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I kind of keep my goals low, not, none that you, how did I say it? I have ideas of what I would like to achieve, but they're not hard targets. And if I don't achieve it, I don't get upset by it.
Nah, that's a great mindset to have, and a very realistic one, but still enough to allow you to dream a little and have some fun with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, dream a little. That's a nice way to put it. That's
yeah,
what I like.
yeah. How is your interaction with the chat? Is it easy for you to do that while you're nose first in a game, um, or is it hard for you to keep the chat involved when you're involved in a game?
I think I can usually get chat involved like a little bit here and there. I know that in recent games I've played, there have been moments that have been intense and I've been very focused and I've missed a lot of chat. um, but
Yeah,
I am constantly finding moments where it's like a little bit more quiet, right? Like look over and I chat with chat a bit.
yeah.
And they're usually very helpful, like giving me tips and stuff like that as well. And it's nice back and forth like that. It's like when you play couch co-ops with your friends, like when you go around your mate's house and you sit down on the sofa with the TV on and you're playing whatever couch co-op game. It has that same feeling to
And
it.
all right, now you've used a phrase I've never heard before. Couch curl?
Oh, couch co-op.
Co-op. Okay, couch co-op. So that's like so what so tell the old man here what that means.
It basically just means it's usually a game where it's either split screen or not, and you're
Oh.
both sat on the sofa, the couch, and you're
Ah.
playing together. It kind of has that same feel. What's a good couch co-op game that I haven't played many recently?
My
Stuff
wife and
like
I
Plate Up.
yeah, my wife and I have done a couple of those. Um we actually did Stardew Valley together. I wasn't
Oh.
on the same computer, but in the same room. Um,
Mm.
and we definitely done games where we played against each other, but they were split screen type games.
Mm.
Usually we're like racing trucks, and she's immediately turning into me and setting my truck on fire or something like that.
It sounds about right.
Yeah, hon, you have some aggression. You need to get out there.
Yes.
The answer is shut up and drive. Okay. Um, so with that, you mentioned being able to do like the couch co-op games with friends. Have you been able to do a lot of co-op games while you're online streaming? Have you done some co-broadcast opportunities?
I have done a few here and there with the collabs
Mm-hmm.
kind of things. I tend to be kind of more solo. I think it's easier to get into that for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit awkward with the communicating side
Mm-hmm.
of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, like recently, for example, I've tried my first ever soul lock, if you know what that is, in Pokemon with a
Oh
friend
yeah.
IU,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which has been intense as someone who only plays Pokemon to go, oh, it's so cute. Look at the little pig. Oh, he's so sweet.
It bounces on a spring. It's so nice. And then you play it like that,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, they died.
There have been times I was like, oh no, I forgot they were that type. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
So, have you played all the different types of Pokemon setups?
Ooh. I think the only Pokemon I haven't played is Sword and Shield,
Mm.
which is ironic considering it's the one that's based in the UK. Just avoiding my own country.
Yeah.
Like,
It's too close to home. I'm not going to deal with that.
too close.
Yeah.
Oh, bad public transport. No, I don't want that.
Well, I've watched a lot of people play it, and I actually played the old school once when I found my son-in-law's very old Game Boy. I was like, I understand why people will get involved in this game now. Um, but have you tried any of the variants, like the randomizers or uh, what do they have now? Well, they have one where too many types. Have you seen that?
Oh, I haven't even heard of that one.
Oh,
That sounds intense.
it looks so hilarious because they've taken the types of Pokemon and multiplied them by like 10 or 12.
Oh gosh.
So you have like
I can barely keep up what there is now.
I know there's a chart for them that I've seen, and you have to have a magnifying glass because of how small it is, of how they interact with each other, and the types are crazy, like fuzzy type or cute type, cute type.
I already have to wear glasses. Having a magnifying glass as well is gonna be a problem.
Kind of makes the Pokemon experience kind of tough. It can enjoy what especially if you do like a Nuzlocke with that. That would be really tough to try and figure
I'm
out.
already struggling enough.
Yeah. Have you tried the randomizers?
I have not, but I have seen. Oh gosh, I have a couple of my friends. I say a couple, three of my friends decided that it would be a good idea to do a randomizer soul lock with all three of them.
Oh.
Which I think they got past the first gym at best. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, yeah. Well, especially if you're working off of randomizers that would be different randomly for each person.
Yes.
Oh, because there's some that you open that will randomize where you go when you open the door.
Oh, I have seen that. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh, I could not keep up with that at all. That would be so frustrating. Uh, I see folks trying to get to that last gym, and they can't find the way to go.
I can't find the right door. Which one was that again?
You mean I have to go on the ship and open this door on the ship in order to get to that gym? Okay, that's fine. Or
Now,
go,
how do I get to the ship?
or go up this certain ladder in a certain cave. Okay, that makes
Hmm.
sense. Um, so, is there anything that you haven't been able to do yet that you'd like to do on stream?
Ooh, is there anything? I feel like I've kind of been doing a lot of the ideas that I've already had. It's just I haven't been able to do them as frequently
Mm,
as I would like.
yeah.
Um, I mentioned on stream quite a lot as well that this computer I'm at currently right now is shared. So every time I stream or get on it, I have to basically kick the other person out of the room and be like, it's my time now. It's my time. I'm
Yes.
going to be streaming.
Yes, I know
And then
you.
if I want to do a hand, oh, go on.
Yeah, yes, I know you're doing special work on, atoms and all that stuff, but I must catch a spoink
I
before
must.
before the
They
news
have to
ends.
keep bouncing.
Yeah, that's right.
They can't stop.
If they stop, they die. I have to keep going.
Ah.
So it's a little tough to sometimes to get enough time on the computer to do it. Does that make it tough to schedule things?
It does if I want to do extra. I very much this is why I kind of have like my Thursdays and my Sundays because I have already like blocked them out. I'm like, this is my time.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the difficulty in that case also then comes from if there's something extra I want to set up because obviously I need it longer before streams or at another point. So it's like trying to grab it. And then also when I do hand cam streams, I have to take everything into basically which is the small kitchen dining lounge, no sofas. And that blocks off like half the flat. So if they want to eat, they can't. They need to grab it beforehand.
I have to say this because it absolutely floors me. Some of the housing in the UK, because I watch especially in the cities where every single bit of space is used in a building. You have
Yes.
I mean, there's something you don't have like a closet that doesn't have something in it. There's you open it up and there's like a microwave and a washing machine and dryer stacked up to the ceiling. It's amazing to me how that is set up. Do you have that type of a place where you're living?
It's extremely small. I think it's below average
Oh,
actually with floor plan space.
oh
And the
my.
one cupboard is the boiler cupboard, and that's it.
Oh.
So trying to work with the space I have is a bit of a pain. I even measured the desks at the moment, and they are 50 wide, and that's
Yeah,
as big as I can get if I don't want to basically back into the wall
yeah,
while I'm streaming.
and that's 50
So
centimeters, right?
yes,
Yes, yeah,
yes,
yes.
yes.
Yeah, you're dealing with, you're talking to American. We don't know what that means.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. We're
I don't know the conversions.
certainly we don't either. But basically half of a meter. So
Yes.
so that's not very particularly large.
Not really. The screen is right in my face, which actually reminded me of something that I wanted, like the question a while back, like, oh, is there something you can't do? VR. There is
Oh,
no way I could do any VR in this space currently.
that would be really tough to do. When you,
I would punch a wall accidentally all the time.
in order, if something was coming up behind you,
Oh, jeez.
it's like, well, it's just gonna come up behind me, I guess.
That's it. I'm stuck. No
V-
running from this.
you get to be VR cocoon. I'm in one space, but people adapt so easily sometimes, and people adapt without even knowing it. You see people um, taking what they have and being able to get the most out of it. Have you been able to do that with your computer and streaming?
I think so, yeah. I think with what I can do currently and everything, I think I'm just trying to see exactly what I can like fit in this little space and what I
Yeah,
can do with streaming.
yeah,
Uh and yeah.
yeah. Well, the way you talked about how kind of different it is when you're able to go on and stream as opposed to what's going on outside in your quote unquote real life. Um, how much of an escape is it for you to be able to do this? Is it to the point where it's therapy for you, or is it just a moment of relaxation for you?
Hmm. I feel like it definitely is a moment to escape, a moment to just fully, I guess, delve into something different, away from like work, away from everything else. I also like very much block it off and be like, I can't do anything IRL this time. I can't go out to any parties. Please don't invite me to parties, please. Things like that. So it very much is. It's definitely more just to relax, and I do enjoy that.
Yeah, and I bet that carries over to the chat too, because
Mhm.
you can
I,
definitely when you listen, you hear somebody who's relaxed, and that immediately, for a lot of people, sets off somewhere they'll relax along with you.
Definitely, yeah. I think I'm trying to remember exactly how I worded it in stream, but there was definitely I said that before I decided to do streaming, before I even thought about it, there was a moment where I was in an extremely anxious place,
Mm-hmm.
as in like I couldn't really do anything much at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that helped me was streamers.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to put them on in the background. So there was always this kind of like ambience rather than just pure silence,
Right.
which helped me kind of keep those anxieties at bay
Mm-hmm.
as I tried to like overcome them over that time.
Yeah.
And I really go back when I stream. That's kind of always in the back of my mind. It was like, even if it's not many people, even if it's not like a huge following or whatever, I hope that at least for some people, I can just be that voice in the background that can keep them company throughout the day, keep them company throughout a moment where they might be struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, giving back what you got before.
definitely, 100%.
Yeah, that's a great mindset to have while doing it, and it sounds like you don't have much trouble uh, with that. You just sound so relaxed, and not just relaxed like I'm going to sleep. Um, relaxed and enjoying yourself and being in, yeah, inclusive with that enjoyment. It's not it's
Hmm.
I'm enjoying myself. You just watch type of thing. By doing that you're bringing everybody with you, which is it's also a very tough thing to learn. Um, that seems very natural for you.
I hope it comes across as that. I hope
Yeah,
it comes across as being able to invite people in
yeah,
just to like sit and chill out.
yeah. It's a very good vibe um, that you bring up to it, and I can definitely see turning on one of Anna's streams and just letting it go throughout the night. and and people who enjoy that sort of thing will be coming back time and time again. Um, that feeling that you get where people are tuning in specifically to hear and interact with you, has that ever uh, become a normal thing for you, or is it something that still catches you between the eyes sometimes?
It still catches me off guard 100%. When people are like, oh, I was waiting for you to start, I'm like, oh, like I literally feel, I think I said, I literally feel like my heart clench a little bit, like, oh, that's so sweet.
Well, it's deserved. It very much is. I mean, it's folks. We're gonna have links where you can see Anna's stuff, get involved, and support this wonderful streamer. Uh, it sounds like you're getting what you want out of it.
Yes. And I'm very, I don't even know if grateful is the word. I think the word is I'm just so happy
Mhm. Fulfilled?
that this is something that I've kind of decided to start.
Yeah.
And
Is it
yeah,
fulfilling?
it is fulfilling. It really is.
Yeah. Oh, listen to that. Listen to the smile.
I'm blushing.
Yeah,
I blush so easily.
yeah. It just that's always great when you can hear somebody smile like that, and then that would have been an ear to ear one. I'm pretty sure, folks. You have to check out and what Anna's got going on because It's I'm sure once you tune in and listen, you'll be hooked, and just a great personality and a lot of fun. And I am so glad you took the time to come on with us today, and uh, and
Oh,
and talk about what you got going on over there. It's very refreshing and very easy to talk to. And again, I wish you nothing but the best, and I hope you come
thank
back
you so
soon.
much.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.